The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericaempowerment.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show today. This is Rebecca Hall Gruyter with Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. I'm so excited to have you joining us, and we've got a great lineup of guests today talking about thriving and shining. The subject that we're covering in May is really about how do we recover or last through storms in our life and find that silver lining so that we can thrive, that we can really bloom where we're planted. So our guests today, we have Dot Claire, who's the modern day medicine woman and a nurse and a healer that will be joining us. Welcome, Dot. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Glad to be here.
And then we also have Julia Glyde, who is a motivational speaker, trainer, entertainer, recording artist, and master MC. So we're really excited to have you as well, Julia. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Rebecca. Excited to be here.
Great. And I loved bringing Dot and Julia together to really cover this concept of thrive and shine. Because in order to thrive, it's really important that we are taking care of ourselves, that we're able to last and sustain and thrive. And if we get a little unbalanced and we're not taking care of ourselves, it's really difficult to do that. And then Julia is really an expert of standing up on stage, sharing your message, and shining. So we've got a great show lined up. But I wanted to start with a few things before we get into the show in depth. One, I had a couple of questions and comments after our last show. And one of them was, how do I call in? How do I ask my questions? How do I communicate with you? Because we love your feedback, we love your connection, we love your communication. So you simply call 888-346-9141. Again, that's 888-346-9141, and they will place you on hold, send you a message, and then we will be happy to take your questions and address those live on the show. Also, if you're at your computer on the screen there, below the picture of me in the show, above the description, you will see a box you can click that's communicate with the host. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. We love all of that. So you can send us messages. And I did want to share one message I received last week. Last week was my first show on the Empowerment Channel. So I was really excited to connect and share with all of you. And I got a message from my dad. He said, he shares, great show. It must be the great parenting you got, with a big smile. So, Dad, shout out to you. Thank you for taking time out of your day, supporting me, and listening. I so appreciate that. But I wanted to share my desire for you on this show and why it was created, why this is important to me. And it's because I came from a background where I formed certain beliefs about myself at a really early age, that I didn't matter, that I had no value, that I wasn't lovable, that I shouldn't be seen or heard, that it wasn't safe. And it took me a long time to heal from that and actually discover the truth, that I am beautifully and wonderfully made, that I'm valuable and needed, and that it is safe. to be seen and heard. And when we do that, when we show up as ourselves, fully, authentically, not hiding, it makes a huge difference. And it gives a permission to all of those around us to do the same. And when we all do that, it creates this ripple effect where we're enriching each other's lives, sharing the unique gifts and talents that we have with each other and ultimately around the world. But I have found as I look out in the world that many people are still believing some of those lies. They don't understand that you don't understand that you're beautifully and wonderfully made, that you're valuable and needed. And so this show is to remind you that we need you, that we want to empower and equip and enrich you. We want you to go out into the world and shine. And I want to celebrate that you said yes to yourself, that you carved out time in your day to join us, to let us pour into you, hopefully pouring into you to the point of overflowing, that you're able to really go out there encouraged and inspired with some practical tips and tools to really support you on your journey in life. So that's our mission. That's why we're here. What I want to do to help you get the most out of our time and really have something practical that you can take with you is I invite you to set intentions. I shared with you my intention for the day. I'm always going to ask my guests what their intentions are, their why. And when you hear that, I want you to pause for a moment and think, what is my why? What is it that I want to accomplish in my life, that you want to leave behind? What is the difference that you want to make, that you feel pulling at your heart? See if some of the sharing and the insight resonates with you and can support you on your journey. And with that, when we set intentions, when we actively know what we're looking for, what we're hoping to accomplish, it's a lot easier to recognize when something's going to help us get closer to that or help us accomplish that intention. But if we don't know what our intention is, or just kind of hoping it works, it's not as direct of a path. So what I would like you to do is, for a moment, just close your eyes. Unless you're driving, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. Just quiet your mind. But for those of you that are not driving, I invite you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath, including my guests. And I just want you to sit for a moment and see, what is my intention? What is it that I want from the show today? How can I be encouraged? Or what is it this week I'm looking for, or I really want to bring into my life? Take another deep breath. Don't over screen, just see what comes up. And you can always share it with us. We love that. For myself, what's coming up is to serve. My intention is really to serve all of you. I want to equip you. I want to empower you to shine in your life. And then also, second part of that, I want feedback. I want this show to serve you. So I want to know what's resonating with you, what you would like more of, what your questions are, what would be supportive of you on your journey, because this show was created for you. Julia, I didn't know if you had something come to your mind or your heart in that moment that you wouldn't mind sharing.
Yeah, no, super wonderful exercise. And, you know, I've been in a lot of transition over the last year, Rebecca, and you've been a big support in that and helping me find my next chapter in life. And when I think of all of this, and I think of the listeners on the call, to just to really remember that we as women do have a purpose here on earth. And if you're going through a transition or things aren't quite where you want them to be, that there's something really exciting for you, and to just wait for that and surround yourself with support from other women. So, good stuff.
Community, I love that. Community and support. Thank you. Thank you. How about you, Dot? Did you have something come to mind that you would like to share?
Well, as I thought and was with you, my most important thing is be present. be present to yourself. And I really support women to take time out for themselves and know who they are and be present in the moment and accept what is.
Beautiful. And then listeners, I invite you to breathe that in. I love that reminder to be fully present. And breathe that in. We can so many times get distracted and be pulled a million directions and miss the time and opportunity that we're in. So thank you for that beautiful reminder, Dot. Something else I wanted to stop and take a moment and reflect on is this concept of being beautifully and wonderfully made. There's a tool that I use in a lot of my workshops and programs, and it's a flower pen. And I make them. My grandmother used to make those, and it was her way of brightening the day, heart by heart, life by life. And if you've ever seen the flower pens, a lot of times you'll see them at a front desk. You can't help but kind of smile at the pen. And it's become a symbol for me in other ways, that each one I make is made with love. It's uniquely made. It's on purpose. It's with a purpose. It has its own color, flair, and flavor, just like each and every one of you. So what I want to encourage you to do, here's a tip to having daily reminders, to taking a moment to pause and be present, as you were sharing, Dot and Julia, to be encouraged that there is a purpose, that it will come, even if this isn't the moment that you're seeing it yet, that it is coming, and to be encouraged in that. So this is what I invite you to do, that when you see one of those flower pens, when you see a real flower or an artificial flower, whenever you see a flower, I want you to pause for a moment and smile and remind yourself that you are beautifully and wonderfully made on purpose and with a purpose. And when you're authentic, when you're transparent and really sharing of yourself, and you're focused on connection, not perfection, you are extremely beautiful. So just remember, every time you see a flower, to breathe in, I'm beautifully and wonderfully made, and I add color and flavor and flair to all of those around me and every life that you touch. And with that, we are getting ready to go to commercial break. So as we do that, I want you to just notice a couple things on the website, because here's an opportunity to interact with us. One, you'll see some banners across the top, and there is a banner that says Free Empowerment Gifts. You will also see it on the right-hand side. You can click it, Free Show Gifts. Our gifts, every week, our guests will be giving you free gifts. And here's an opportunity for you to click on that and claim them. So we'll talk more about the gifts, but I wanted you to be aware of that, because as we go to commercial break, you can check those links out. You can reach out to us. We look forward to talking to you soon. Enjoy your break.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to Facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings of the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our wall. Just go to Facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
Your people are waiting for you.
Do you speak to have more impact and grow your business? Your people are waiting for you, waiting to hear your unique message. Learn to speak more effectively on the Speakers Summit, a free summit designed for speakers like you. More info at thespeakersummit.com. Your people are waiting for you. Are you ready for them?
Your people are waiting for you. Be ready.
We're making it easier to listen to the Voice America Talk Radio Network wherever you go. In addition to listening live, you can check out information about your favorite talk show hosts, discover new talk show personalities, add shows to your list of favorites, and listen to all our show archives on demand. All from your iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android. Download it from the Apple App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market, and get ready to tune in. The Voice America mobile app, powered by Aircast.
Build your better business. Achieve that goal. Make good on that resolution. The Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. We've been talking about thriving and shining in life. And the first segment of the show, we were talking about how you're beautifully and wonderfully made, that it's important to be present, fully present in the moment, in your life and in your body, and to really stay encouraged and remember that there is a purpose for you. You have a purpose. And this first guest that I'm going to officially introduce, I did lightly in our introduction, is Dot Claire. She is a good friend of mine. Actually, both guests are. So I'm so blessed to have them on the show together with me. I wanted to introduce Dot Claire. She is a nurse, healer, and founder of the Modern Day Medicine Women. She's created the Creations Process, which was birthed out of learning to gracefully navigate the ups and downs of raising 6 children, her own health challenges, divorce, and the death of her son. So, Dot, I welcome you.
Thanks, Becca. I am so delighted to be here and to share my experience and my hope, in hopes that other people will be uplifted by what I have to say. As you mentioned, you know that I'm a nurse and a medicine woman. Well, I have a lot of different, I'll call them tricks in my medicine bag, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Because everybody is so unique and different, I'm able to weave together, you know, my nursing skills along with what I call my Eastern tradition. So the nursing skills come from the Western tradition, with the Eastern tradition of energy healing and ceremonies and intuition and sacred oils. And with those, I have been able to help many women over the past 25 years as I've been in my private practice to really discover who they are, to open their hearts and awaken to the gift that they are, as you spoke of before, you know, to really learn to love themselves. Yes. And that's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. And so that happens through first one day at a time. I say one moment at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. And at each opening, it's an opportunity to celebrate who they are. So I am. It just makes my heart sing when each woman that I work with, and I do primarily work with women, just opens up and is courageous and breaks through some of those blocks that are keeping them stuck.
And Dot, speaking about blocks and these wonderful tools you have in your medicine bag, would you mind sharing a little bit about why this work is so important to you and why your heart sings when you see women step through and be brave and shine in that way?
Well, what I have to say is that I have to go back 30 years. 30 years ago, I was extremely overweight. I was extremely unhappy in my marriage, and I was overwhelmed with all those 6 children that you mentioned before, and as well as I didn't have any sense of self-worth. I was really in a rut. And I had been on yo-yo diets for many, many years, and I always gained all the weight back, hundreds of pounds back, I'd say. It wasn't until I went to my first 12-step meeting, Overeaters Anonymous, that I realized food was not my issue, that it was my disconnection from spirit. And that began the process of taking responsibility for my misery and shifting the story. And in shifting the story, it took a lot of courage.
Yep.
So I really honor women who are struggling to make changes in their life and don't seem to be able to do it because they feel stuck in what I call addictive patterns. And it takes courage, one moment at a time. Courage to decide, I'm not going to do this behavior, or I'm going to change something in my life. And for me, that began the process of me losing 60 pounds, as well as leaving a marriage that was unhappy, as well as getting involved in massage therapy and becoming a therapist and helping other people heal. Because it was through my body that I was able to heal. And I wanted to give back to others the gift that I had received. And so massage was an opportunity to touch in a beautiful, healthy way. I call it a sacred way. And each person that I touched in that sacred way healed cells in their body that helped heal patterns to help them to open up and blossom. And so out of my challenges, 14 years ago, my son died. And it was really out of that challenge that the creations process began to develop. And it's a 9-step process, which I'm probably not going to go into all the 9 steps because it's quite involved, but you all have the opportunity to find out about that process in my ebook, The Wise Woman's Guide to Creating a Life Beyond Survival.
And Dot, how do they get a hold of this ebook?
Well, if they we provide the link for that on this Voice America show, and it would be one of my free show gifts that they would just have to click on the link and receive that gift through this radio show.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dot. I appreciate you sharing that. Do you mind sharing the first, what creation? I know we can't go into every step, but I know it's an acronym. Do you mind sharing what each letter stands for?
Well, I can do that. C is for creating a haven that loves and supports you. R is, all of a sudden, respect your tears. You know what? All of a sudden I've gone brain dead.
Oh, no worries. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm sorry,
No,
Dot.
that's okay.
That was not my intention.
No.
What I can share about Dot is she has an amazing gift, an amazing capacity to hold space for an energy for the people that she works with and really help them ground and process and heal and honor the process that they need to go through. And I love how you were talking about the tears, because you do, that you just really hold that space. Sometimes I think in our society, we try to hide our tears or put a mask on and act like we're happy and shove some of the emotion and feeling down. And one of the things I love about you, Dot, is that you're really good at helping the emotion come forward and honoring it, being safe to express all of those emotions and feelings, including tears. So I just want to acknowledge you and thank you for that gift that you share with all of us.
Well, thank you. I can continue now.
Okay, great.
A is for be alone without being lonely. T is treat your body and soul with respect.
Great.
I, initiate laughter often. O, om in silence. N, navigate change with grace and ease. And S is sacred ceremony and ritual.
Beautiful. And can I ask you a question about that? Because I know sometimes, or what I hear, are that people have some assumptions about ceremony or rituals. I've heard that term as well. Can you just share for a moment some of your thoughts about that?
Well, for me, ritual, I know in society has a negative connotation, so I include ceremony in that. And really, we do rituals every day. Brush our teeth, we get up at a certain time, we eat, drink coffee, whatever it is that we do rituals every day. But this is sacred. This is really recognizing that we create ceremonies in our life every day to support who we were and who we are becoming. So I call it saying goodbye and saying hello, because every moment we are changing.
I love
and the
that.
Sacred ceremonies are about being supported by another, not just by ourselves, in community, to uplift us, to hold us when we need to be held, and to encourage us when we need to be encouraged to take the next step.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dot, for sharing. I appreciate that. And is there anything else that we haven't touched on that you would like to share with us?
Well, I think the biggie is that those 9 steps, or the 9-step process, all incorporate what I call my 3 C's, the secret sauce for breaking through those fears and awakening the vibrant woman.
Oh, tell us the secret sauce.
Okay. It's clear, create, and celebrate. And when I talk about clear, I'm talking about clearing out the stuff that blocks us from moving forward. And that could be our stinking thinking. Could be our detoxing our body, because our body weight is holding us back. That could be our environment that is loaded and cluttered with stuff that is holding us from being all that we were meant to be. And create, to me, is once I empty a space, I have space to create something new. Like when my son died. When he died, I created a spirit garden. That spirit garden helped me to do my grieving. It was there that I was able to let go of my tears, let go of my anger. It was there that I began to see something beautiful out of that messy situation in life. So it's opening us up to possibilities so that we can get a clarity of our vision and intention. And then celebrate. I spoke a little bit about that before. Celebrate your successes. Celebrate it with a community of wise women, a place where you'll be honored and for endings and beginnings. Celebrate, for me, in community can be 2 or more gathered together for the purpose of uplifting, nurturing, and supporting each other's dreams. So the uplifting part, it's not where you get together with somebody and do the woe is me story, but it's you're actually looking at transformation by being together, because the energy of 2 or more has much more power than singly. I call it, that's where the magic happens.
Beautiful. Well, Dot, I thank you so much for being on our show today and really sharing from your heart and the wisdom that you have gained and your creation process and formula, and really making that available to all of our listeners and followers. That's very generous of you. Those of you interested in saying yes to that gift and being empowered and encouraged, I encourage you to click on the free radio show gifts, and that will take you directly to the page to access those gifts. And then we're actually going to go to break here again. My goodness, the time is going so quickly, but I hope that you enjoy your break, that you're enjoying the call today. And when we come back, we will be hearing great tips, ideas, and suggestions from Julia Glyde. Thank you so much. Talk to you all soon.
We're on Facebook along with some of the greatest minds of the world, and that includes you. Visit us on Facebook at Voice America Empowerment.
We all want peace. We all desire a more meaningful life. We work hard to achieve these things, but at what avail? The key is authentic living with Andrea Matthews. Andrea will interview some of the great spiritual experts of today and will provide wisdom to help you raise your consciousness to the level of your own I am. Your authenticity can give you miraculous gifts, but you have to know how to get there. Listen for Authentic Living with Andrea Matthews. Heard live every Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time on the Seventh Wave Network. Get ready to experience a more fulfilling lifestyle. Tune in to Direct Connect Empowerment with host Fee Mazanke. The show will feature guests who have changed their lives by using the Direct Connect coaching program or have worked with the same concepts that this program offers. By hearing how others have been transformed, you will be inspired to move forward. Direct Connect Empowerment with Fee Mazanke can be heard live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. We were just reflecting during the commercial break how it's so important to be present and how that is, as Dot was sharing earlier, that's just a moment-by-moment experience and how important that is to really stay connected and engage fully in the experiences that you're having an opportunity to experience. So we were just enjoying reflecting on that a little bit during break. Julia Glyde is our next speaker or guest. Well, you're a speaker and a guest, I should say, right, Julia?
Yeah, that's good.
And we met originally, if I'm remembering correctly, Julia, at a networking group, correct? I think that's when we first met. And I know at that point you were doing some seeking. And it's come full circle. And you have so found your calling, the thing that makes you sing, makes your heart sing, and really brings great joy into your life. And just to give a formal introduction, Julia Glyde is a motivational speaker, trainer, entertainer, recording artist, master MC, and the creator of On Stage. And I keep wanting to say On Stage with Julia, but I know that's not the official name. But it's such a beautiful experience being able to be on stage with you and on your stage. So with that, Julia, I just give you a heartfelt welcome and would love to have you share a little bit about your why, what you finally found your calling was, and why that work is so important to you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Well, first of all, I have to tell everybody, all the listeners listening, that Rebecca did know me first. Well, when we first met, it was in March of 2013, so barely a year ago, and I was in huge transition in my life. I just turned 47 this March. So I was 46 years old, and I'd spent the last 20 years of my life in the entertainment industry as a singer, recording artist, and an MC on stage. And Rebecca, when I met you, people would say, "What do you do?" And I'd say, "I don't know." I really didn't know what the next chapter of my life was going to be. I didn't want to be on stage with a band anymore, and I didn't want to be, I was with a big casino, their MC and spokesperson. I didn't want to do that anymore, so I was just like, now what? And so I spent literally a couple of years in transition, not knowing what I was going to do. And it was nice that Rebecca was there to hold the space for me, as she talked about that Dot does for so many people. Rebecca does the same thing. And just holding the space for me until I came into my own, till I figured out how to bring my life back to me so I could do something that was really fulfilling and that I could really, Rebecca, you said I found my calling, and I feel like, oh my gosh, this is better than before. And so, yeah, I'm very excited. And so you asked me why I created what I did. Really quickly, I'll share that at first I was going to go a whole different direction. And when I started doing some inward work and started getting the support of other women in the community, and they started pointing out some of my gifts and talents, and Rebecca, you invited me to be the MC for your community just to get involved, just to be around other women who were all working towards their purpose. That's where I really discovered that, I don't need to start something new. I could just use the experience I already have and reinvent myself to serve a new community. And that's what I did, and I'm really excited about it. It's so much fun.
I love it. I guess what I'm trying to say, the words aren't coming out as I'm intending, but why is helping people, entrepreneurs, speakers, women, men, stand up on stage so important to you?
Yeah. Well, so after I found what I wanted to do, that's a great question. I love it, because once I figured it out for me, I realized that I can help other people do the same thing. And a lot of people will come to me because they have a message they want to share. They have this deep desire. Rebecca, I also have an animal rescue organization, and I've rescued and rehomed over 1,000 animals. And when you have something that's really you're passionate about, you have to have a way to make that happen. I had to have funding. I had to have all this stuff to make that happen. And as entrepreneurs, so many times, people come to me and they're like, I really want to do this thing and I really want to help these people, but they don't know how to message it in a way that will draw more of their ideal clients. They don't know how to message and voice it in a way that will really help fund their life, help them make a living doing what they love so that they can support the things that are really important to them, maybe sending their kids to college, or for me, rescuing more animals, or there are a lot of people that are doing great work and for great causes, but they lack the money themselves in their own business to be able to really give fully. And so helping entrepreneurs discover and clarify that message and make it so clear that they can do what they really love and be fulfilled has become my big motivator for doing what I do. So yeah, they get on stage and they learn to speak on a microphone. That's like my specialty in helping them. But really helping them uncover, like you're asking me, why they want to do it and how they can go out and serve others. So I love helping people find that.
Yes. And I will say that people that I have seen you work with have blossomed, and they have this new confidence on stage. And when they step up, they own it. And I had seen them before working with you and the transformation, and it is gaining confidence with the microphone, but it's more than that. They have clarity in their message and strength in it that really grounds them and gives them that confidence. So I think you do a beautiful, beautiful job of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. But I do have a question. Okay. I was thinking, there are some people out there, and a large part of the population, that would actually rather die than be on stage. They have this huge fear of public speaking. What's the advice you could give them, or a top tip to help them overcome that, at least move it down the fear channel or the fear list a little bit?
It is the number one fear. They say the human brain starts working the minute we're born, and it never stops. until we stand up to speak in public. And that's actually by George Jessel said that. It's a quote. And it's so true. There's a lot of fear about getting up on stage. And I, too, I like to share this all the time, is I've been in the entertainment industry for 20 years, and I still get nervous when I get up on stage. I still have this surge of energy that I have to control. The thing that I would encourage people to do that are not comfortable on stage, that don't want to get on stage, is to really start practicing, because just pushing yourself outside a comfort zone in every way you can. In a networking event, make yourself stand up and say your name and say what you do. And you may feel like you're going to pass out when you sit down, but it'll get easier. And the one thing that I do notice with the people who come through my program is that I make being on stage so comfortable, because I really get them to focus on speaking from their heart, speaking about what they know about, and that gives a lot of people confidence. So another tip, if I can add one more, is when you do get up to speak, speak from the heart. Speak about what you know about, and that gives you so much more confidence. And then everything else just comes with practice.
Beautiful. I love to remind people, and this is just a core belief I have, it's about connection. It's not about perfection. Mm-hmm. And for me, I had a huge fear of speaking even to one person or two people, much less on a stage. I really, really would just shut down. Like, my body would try to protect me on a cellular level. And one of the things that helped me get through that and really get to where I love being on stage now, and you're right, Julie, I still get those moments. Mm-hmm. But overall, by reminding myself, it's voluntary, right? I'm choosing to be there. And I can literally walk off the stage at any moment, and I'm not in mortal danger. And I remind myself on that. And to date, I haven't walked off a stage yet. I've looked at the staircase before and eyed it, so I had a direct path. But I found that every time I gave myself that permission, doesn't mean I have to do it. It helped ease that fear a little bit. And reminding myself I'm not in mortal danger. And every time, you were saying practice, every time I did and I survived, I gained more trust in myself. I gained less fear. I released some of the fear. Mm-hmm. And I gained more confidence in myself and saw connection being made. And it actually started to become joyful. So thank you so much for sharing.
It becomes addictive, right?
It does.
Nobody's ever died public speaking, so that's really good news for people out there. Like, you guarantee you will not die when you stand up to speak in public. You will make it off the stage. Going with what you said really quickly, I've heard this said, and I say it to my students all the time, people remember more how you make them feel than what you say. So it's really all about connection and making people feel really happy to be with you, and really just putting your heart out there, and people will connect, and it's an amazing thing.
Exactly. And do you mind sharing a little bit about what your free gift is, and just reminding our listeners that you can go, even if you're listening to the replay, it's still all available. You can access the information on the replay link on the right-hand side in yellow. You'll see free radio show gifts. You can also go to my website, which you'll also see a link there, but it's www.yourpurposedrivenpractice.com, and then you click on the radio show tab and you'll have access to all of that information. Julia, do you mind sharing what your free gift for us today is?
I would love to. So this is for people who are saying, okay, you know what, I do have an amazing message, and I think every person in the world has an amazing message to share, and you're ready to learn more of how to get your message out there and really grow whatever business you're in if you're an entrepreneur through speaking. It's called 7 Steps to Grow Your Biz Through Speaking. And there are just 7 very simple steps in this it's a really short ebook guide. And the very first step is to clarify your message. And there's actually a little step-by-step process in there for you to fill out on your own to help you get real clear what your message is and how you can serve the people you're supposed to be serving. And most importantly, make money doing what you love. So yes, I would love for people to grab that free gift.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I'm hearing a reoccurring theme. I was just sitting here and reflecting on that, how clarity is so key and so important, that it when you're clear in your message and your calling, it gives you confidence. When you have clarity in what you're called to do, it helps you step through that fear. So one of the things I would encourage our listeners to reflect on as we're going to break here is, what's an area that they could gain some more clarity in that would help you, the listener, move forward and thrive? We look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Live up to your fullest potential. This is the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Want more positivity in your life? Are you ready to get healthy, happy, and energized? Join the Stella Donna Goddess Gals, Cynthia Bryan, and Heather Brittany for a power hour of stimulating, supportive conversation on Star Style. Be the star you are. A lineup of best-selling authors, celebrities, and experts. Join the effervescent mother-daughter dynamic duo in this upbeat, positive, life-changing talk radio playground. Star Style. Be the star you are. Wednesdays, 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Lend us your ears. It's power time.
Now there's a new destination for video content, voiceamerica.tv. Just like our radio channels and so much more. Voice America Variety, Health and Wellness, Business, Sports, Green Talk, Power Up Motorsports, and Seventh Wave Network now have their own video channel components. Plus, check out exclusive programming, including movies, music, educational courses, science and history, current events, and short features. High-definition, premier quality programs available 24/7. voiceamerica.tv. If you think you've seen online TV like this before, let us surprise you.
Success starts here. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com. It's your world.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. We have been talking about gaining clarity in your life. We've been learning how to overcome fear, particularly the fear of public speaking, how to be present in the moment, and really thrive and shine in our life. With that, I wanted to see, Dot, if you had any last thoughts. I wanted to give you an opportunity to share any additional insights or pieces of wisdom with our listeners today.
Well, Rebecca, first off, thank you again. And also, I just love Julia because she's helped me get some clarity and she's helped me get a voice. And both of you together have been really important people in my life. And what I really put out there is that we cannot do it alone. Change happens when we find a mentor, a coach, or a healer to help us walk through our fear and build our courage muscle. And as we continue to do that, it helps us make the changes that we want in our life. And there's a quote that I have, Walter Anderson: the first and most difficult risk we can take is to be honest with ourselves. And to me, honesty with myself has to do with that I can't do it alone, that I need help. And so I just think that is vitally important for anyone who is open to making changes in their life or is not satisfied with the way things are at the moment. And I do have an opportunity for those who are in the local area of San Francisco that I'm offering a 30-minute complimentary, what I call Vibrant Woman Breakthrough Session over the phone. And it's a private conversation where we will talk about where you are now, what would you like, how would you like your life to be, and a plan for moving forward. And if anybody's interested in that, I believe that is also on the site,
Yes.
And you can pick up that free gift through the radio show.
Wonderful. An opportunity to get more of Dot. Thank you. I appreciate that. How about you, Julia? Did you have any last thoughts or shares or insights, wisdom you want to give to us? We'd appreciate it.
Yes. I love doing this. Well, for everybody listening, I had a little challenge, and I would recommend writing this down. I would say if you're in transition or trying to figure out what could I do to really share my message and my voice, I would say number one, if money weren't an issue, what would you do that would just excite you? What would you really love to do if you didn't have to make any money? That would be the first thing I'd write down. The second thing I'd say, what are your strengths? Your natural strengths and talents, and then your experience. I learned to be an entertainer. I wasn't born an entertainer. And so I use that now for my business. But what are your natural and experience, your strengths, both natural and experience? And then how can you put it together in a way that you can share your message? And if you're an entrepreneur and you need to make money and make a living doing what you love, how could you do it in a way that people would pay you for it? People pay for things in health, things that where with finance have to do with finance, and things that have to do with relationships. So if you can put all that together and find one of those places that people will pay you for, you'll be so excited, like I am. And Rebecca, you are. We're doing what we love, and we get to make a living doing it, and it's a really, really rewarding.
Yes. It really is, but it does take going through the process and going through those questions and really finding out what your strengths are and setting up your life in a way that you can play to your strengths. So I so appreciate you sharing that. Clarity, knowing what your strengths are. And then I would also add, in addition, being willing to face the fear and having that community, Dot, that you were pointing out, that we don't do it alone.
Yeah.
And having a community that can support us and lift us up moving forward. I hope that this show is providing you some community support, knowing that we're cheering for you. We want the best life has to offer you, but we also want to stretch you and challenge you. We want you to be willing to go out there and share more of you with all of us, and the stretching can be a little bit scary. So that community is so important. Julia, thank you again for sharing. Absolutely true, wonderful, powerful tips. I love having steps and things you can check off on a list, so I appreciate that. So, listeners, here's the challenge, the things that I want to encourage you to step forward in this week. Getting clarity, pausing, taking a moment to do that. Being fully present. Being willing to stretch a little bit, face a little bit more of your fears, and being willing to share a little more of who you are with all of those people around you. Because when you hide, we miss out on your amazing gifts and talents and abilities. And Dot, my life has been so enriched by you and Julia as well, that both of you have been willing to face your fears and share who you are, your gifts and your talents and your life with me. And I know with many, many, many more men and women. So I thank you for being the gifts that you are and willing to share. And for being on my show today. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, Rebecca.
It's a pleasure. It's wonderful.
And listeners, I wanted to let you know about what's coming up next week. So you have your homework assignments for the week. I'm giving you work this time. But I really want you to move forward in your life and be encouraged and be inspired. So next week, we're going to be focused on thriving throughout your life. So not just throughout the month of May or through the end of 2014, but throughout your life. I've brought together two great speakers. I consider everyone a speaker. That's why I'm calling everyone speakers today, I think. So great guests and speakers. Michael Ann Conley, who specializes in helping you move from habits to health, having your habits serve you rather than hold you back. And then Cynthia Stott, who is a success mindset expert and money lady. So we're in for a special treat next week. Meanwhile, remember how valuable you are, how needed you are, Watch for the flowers this week to remind you again how beautifully, uniquely, and wonderfully you're made. Remember to set your intentions and know that we are here supporting you, lifting you up, wanting you to have the best that life has to offer so you can thrive and shine. And what I want to challenge you to do and encourage you to do is to make that list of your strengths and your talents and some of your abilities. And I want you to share it with 5 friends and give them the opportunity to actually add maybe a few more things to that list that you missed. And then we would love for you to share with us maybe 1 or 2 of the insights or aha moments that you had, perhaps a new strength that you discovered, an intention that has happened, has been brought forth. And then we want you to remember to always, always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. We look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.